Welcome back, everyone. It is Saturday, August 16th in the MLB. Our three favorite plays are on the way. Let's try to sweep the board today because that's what we did yesterday. Let's get it out of the way, Logan. We suck. We suck. There's no way around it. We can't. Astros -1.5, just comical. Brandon Young throwing a perfect game into the eighth or something. I mean,
Unreal.
what even is that? How do you cap for that, guys? Like make better plays. How the hell are we supposed to project? Whatever. D-backs Rockies over 11.5. Hit the first five over it, 7 runs in the sixth. Bullpens are goaded. And then the Twins ruined our both 1+ parlay. Went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Would have been a nice winner there. All the teams hit that we needed, except for the Twins. But you know what? We're moving on. We're bouncing back today. I get it. It has been a season from hell. Logan and I have never had a losing season. It just has not been great. We're trying to find different ways to give you guys winners, and anything we try does not work. We could do anything. We could back the hottest team in baseball, and they will find a way to lose. That has just been our season. And you know what? Let's test it out. Brewers money line. First play of the day. Look, they got to be cheating or something. And you know what? If they're going to set a season high, a career franchise high in wins in a row, you better believe they got to beat Logan and I. They got to beat the final boss. Brewers ML, we're on them, -132. Now, you could give a bunch of stats left and right. They are the hottest team in baseball. They've won 13 in a row. Quinn Priester, they've won 13 in a row that he has started in. And Zach Littell leads the league in home runs allowed, and he's pitching in a very hitter-friendly, very hitter-friendly conditions and the weather-wise, and very hitter-friendly ballpark in Cincinnati. End of the day, I trust the Brewers offense. They came back from 8-1 yesterday. You tell me they can't go out there and win again today? I mean, they're just not out of any game. It has to be like 20-1 for you to be like, all right, the Brewers are officially dead. Their streak's over. But they like their offense better than the Reds. I mean, the Reds got to be pretty demoralized yesterday after being up 8-1. Everyone's going crazy in Cincinnati. And then the Brewers just start marching back. They go up 10-8, and the Reds offense looked lifeless. I expect that to carry over today. Zach Littell coming off a rough start. Like I said, leads the league in home runs. Struggles to get the ball on the ground. At the end of the day, we are going to ride with the Brew, and it would be honestly so funny when they lose today. But you know what? I gotta pay to find out. So Brewers, I'm sorry if you're a Brewers fan. If you're a fader, good luck with this one. If you want to jump on the Reds money line, go for it. But Reds, we're fading you today. We're taking the Brew Crew on the money line. That is my first pick of the day. Logan, how are we feeling?
That's funny. And when that streak ends today, just know unstoppable force, immovable object. Something's got to give. I'm excited to see what happens there. But my favorite pick today is actually a plus money little 2-leg parlay. Look, yesterday I lost in just disgusting way. I mean, made Brandon Young actually look like an ace. Never seen that before. I left me actually speechless. But today, if I'm gonna lose, it's gonna be in the name of value. Let's talk about this 2-leg parlay that I like. First leg, Cubs alt team total over 3.5. Again, this is an alt team total, not their normal line. And then Tyler Anderson over 2.5 earned runs. Parlay it together, plus 127 on DraftKings. Decent value. And again, if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna start chasing a little bit more plus money because I got to find something that works, and I'd rather just lose on plus money than lose on a run line that was still negative odds, and they just never stood a chance. First leg of this parlay, Cubs team total over 3.5. The normal line for them, if you look at the lines, it's either a juiced 4.5, like I'm talking like over -150, or it's a 5.5 with some plus money on the over 5.5. Those lines are kind of interesting to me, considering what they did yesterday. They only scored 2 runs. 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Sounds about right. I mean, typically when I back teams, they just bring out the bad runners in scoring position stats. But today, hopefully they got that out of the way yesterday. I'm optimistic they did. Today, the total's up to 9, which I do find interesting. And I have to ask myself, where do I see the majority of that total runs coming from? Is it from the Pirates? I don't really think so. I still think it's going to be from the Cubs against Mike Burrows today. The wind is blowing out at Wrigley, which again, if you're ever taking a total at Wrigley, check the weather. And so I do like what I'm seeing there. Burrows faced the Cubs back in June, went 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. If he masterclasses them again, tip of the cap. I just don't see it coming again. And Mike Burrows is just not a consistent pitcher. I mean, there's a reason why on the year he'll have good start, bad start, and kind of flip flop between those two. In August, he has a 9.31 ERA in 2 games started. Something I always check with pitchers: how are you doing lately? And more oftentimes than not, it's kind of a trend line. I mean, Mike Burrows, I think, is finally starting to trend down, where hitters are figuring him out, and that's why he's almost got a 10 ERA this month. The Cubs are hitting 241 against right-handed pitching at home this season. If you look at this offense recently, no, it's not appealing. No, it's not sexy, but I think we're backing them at sort of a buy low spot. And I'd argue their normal team total line doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm like, why is it that high? I just think if we're asking for an all team total today, the bare minimum they can do is put up 4 runs, because Mike Burrows is going to make mistakes. It's just, can they capitalize on that? Can they tag him for 3+ earned runs? Absolutely. And only need a little bit more in the bullpen. I mean, Burrows hasn't made it past 5 innings pitched in his last 2 August starts. I hope that trend continues today, because I want to face that Pirates bullpen that's 30th in bullpen ERA this month. Terrible. Dead last in bullpen ERA. So if they can just chase Mike Burrows, not let him have a very efficient outing, I'll live with that. And I'll live with them trying to get 4 runs today. It's not asking for a whole lot from this Cubs offense. They are capable of that. And then the second leg of this parlay is Tyler Anderson over 2.5 earned runs. I mean, look, Tyler Anderson is on my immediate fade list because he's over this line in 5 of his last 6 starts. He also has a home run problem, and that's not what you want to see going into Suter Park. He's allowed 3 home runs in back-to-back starts, multiple home runs in 3 straight. I'm telling you, hitters are just seeing his pitches really well now. He's not missing bats. He's actually getting barreled up at an alarming percentage. He's a soft contact ground ball pitcher, but the fact of the matter is he's 5th percentile in ground ball percentage this season. That's a major problem for a guy that needs the ground ball outs. Tyler Anderson does not get the strikeout consistently at all anymore. And the fact that he is just getting barreled up like that at Suter Park, I'll live with that. The A's already saw Anderson and tagged him for 5 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings pitched back in May. And they're hitting really well right now against lefties. 303 batting average against lefties this month. 3 of the last 4 starting lefties have went over this line versus the A's. Again, I'll pay to find out. This line is like minus 160 normally, so it's not playable as a straight bet. But again, in a parlay with ideal hitting conditions at Suter Park, they scored 10 runs yesterday. I mean, if this offense can't do it today against Tyler Anderson, I guess I am just a cursed man. But I'll trust the A's to get to Tyler Anderson today. Love that little 2-leg parlay as my favorite pick of the day. Hopefully we can cash a nice plus money winner. That would be amazing. But Austin, you got one more pick. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'll talk about that in just 1 second. I did mean to address something. Yesterday, we said if we went 0-3, we would do a giveaway. We'll just move that giveaway to Tuesday for our normal Dinger Tuesday giveaway. So instead of a normal $25, we'll do 50. And also, I just know there's going to be comments down below just about these guys are laughing through losing. So look, at the end of the day, you got to laugh through the pain. Logan and I come on here. We put a lot of research into the picks, and it just hasn't panned out this season. You guys know we've historically been very good in baseball. Last year, not our greatest season, basically broke even, and this year, obviously not great. But in NFL, done pretty well. NBA, obviously done really well there. Logan and I are trying our best. If you guys got any tips, let us know down below. Look, we're trying. You got to laugh through the pain because sometimes you just make a pick, all the stats and data back it up, and then just everything goes right. That's why you love baseball and why Logan and I just don't love it this season. Everything's just going against us. We're still trying. Obviously, it's going to take a miracle to continue our no-losing season streak. Is it possible? Yes, or borderline miracle at this rate, but we got to get hot, and hopefully our 3 picks can do today, and maybe the Brew Crew can be our wagon to help us get out of poverty this season. But for our 3rd and final pick of the day, I have a player prop. Let's talk about this guy. It's Patrick Corbin. I'm taking his under 15.5 outs, currently minus 140 on Bet365. A little bit juiced, but I just don't think the line should be even minus 140. I think he should have a 14.5 line at like minus 190, minus 200. I think he does go 5 today, but I don't see him going past the 5th inning. And it's kind of been something the Rangers have been monitoring for him really more the whole season, but especially as of late. And I'll kind of touch on what that is, but it mostly is just 3rd time through the order. And we'll talk with those splits and why the Rangers being extremely cautious, especially given that we have 40 games left in the season. The Rangers are a team on the brink of making the playoffs. Every win matters. Every game matters to them. Yesterday, they blew a game versus the bullpen just came in and sold. they still want to win every single game they can. So let's talk about Patrick Corbin, who has not been, he's been serviceable for the Rangers this year. I'm sure if you gave him the stats, his like 4 ERA, 1.3 whip at the beginning of the season, the Rangers probably wouldn't have taken that. But today, is a really tough test against the Blue Jays. We've talked with them before. But like I said, Corbin's under this line in 3 straight. And his last 2, you've seen him taken out before 80 pitches and facing 18 and 19 batters. Why is that? It's not like he really necessarily got rocked in both those 2 starts. It's not like he gave up, 10 earned runs. Like, all right, dude, this guy's throwing 70 pitches, but the man is giving up 10 runs. I mean, he has pitched decently well, 3 earned runs in both those 2 starts. So not great, not terrible. But again, 18 and 19 batters. Why is that? Well, because if you look at his first time through the order, he's at about a 660, 690 OPS. Second time, around the same. Third time through the order, a 350 batting average and a near a 985 OPS. So again, that is why they're heavily limiting him, because they don't want him to get that third time through the order where the wheels really fall off and it becomes whatever, maybe the game is 3-1, 3-2 after 5. They don't need it to become 8-2. And that's kind of what has happened in Patrick Corbin's last few seasons. That third time through, teams really get to him. So there's a reason why in his last 6 starts, he has yet to see more than 22 batters. So again, they had already started to limit those appearances, but now they're even more. They're like, all right, we don't need him to go that third time through. We know the Blue Jays offense, they haven't been as good against lefties recently, but we know on the season, 3rd highest in walk percentage, a top 5 batting average, 1st in WRC plus versus lefties. And this is a team that is going to stack a ton of righties. We know they will do that. And then when you throw in a right-handed reliever, they'll start to throw in the Varshows and those guys of the world, the lefties. So again, batting leadoff, probably Schneider. And then we have Clement, then Vlad, and then Bichette. I don't see them wanting Corbin to see at least the bare minimum Vlad a third time through, which he would be the 21st batter. So again, we're going to need the Blue Jays to obviously get some base runners here. Corbin could pitch a gem and go into the 6th inning, but that's going to force him really not to allow many base runners. Because I think if he allows 3 and doesn't obviously get any double plays, we're looking at him getting those 15 outs, 3 base runners. We're at 18 guys coming up to the top of the lineup. I could see them taking him out before all the righties at the top of the lineup come see him again. So I look at a bunch of different ways where this can go under. He could just not pitch well. He could actually pitch decently well, and the third time through, they're like, you know what, we don't need that. Or he could absolutely just get rocked, which we've seen the Blue Jays do time and time again to lefties at home this season. And you look at his other lines, other props for Patrick Corbin. He has a heavily juiced 5.5 hits allowed. Like we're talking in the -1, I want to say it's like -160-ish region. If you look at his hits allowed, I'm looking at 5.5. Yeah, -160, even more juiced on some other books. His walks line is 1.5, but it's even money both ways. So if he goes out there and honestly gives up 4 hits, 1 walk, I could see them taking him out, because that would be, 5 or so base runners. His whip's 1.32. So even the Blue Jays can just get us 1 base runner per inning. I really don't see him going very far into this game, unless there's always that chance that he pitches so bad that they're like, you know what, we'll just run you out there because we need the innings eaten. But hopefully that is not the case. If it is, I would just laugh. But I do like Patrick Corbin's under and outs today. I think the Blue Jays can at least score a couple runs off him, get him out of there early before he sees, 23, 24 batters. Look, if he's limited to 21 or 22, they could easily get him out there by the 6th inning. They still have John Gray in the bullpen who can extend some relief. And they didn't play 2 days ago. So they still have a decent bullpen in terms of health and pitches the last few days. But those are the 3 picks. To recap them real quick: Brewers ML, come on, Brew Crew. We need 14 in a row. Then we have Logan's parlay at +127. Cubs to score 4. Tyler Anderson to give up 3. And then we have Patrick Corbin's under and outs. I get it. It has been a disaster of a season. Logan and I don't go to bed very happy with the outcome of our bets, especially over the last 3 days on a 1-7 run. It sucks. But there's still time to turn it around. We still got a couple more weeks before the NFL. If we can't turn it around by then, you'll probably maybe see Logan and I hang it up for the rest of the year, try to get into what we can do better for next year, because obviously we can't do this all over again. But let's go 3-0 today. We've started heaters before. We need to start a heater today, and hopefully that is a 3-0 day. If we manage to go 0-3 again, Logan and I will both be dead inside, and we'll add another $25 to the giveaway pot. And heck, if we go 3-0, we'll add another 25 as well. We're just begging for a good day. That's all we want. We'll see you guys back tomorrow, hopefully recapping a solid winning day. We'll see you guys then. Peace.